Silva, can you just tell us the company's journey in the last 100 years, very briefly? I've gone
Yes,
through your website and all that. I mean, in your word, rather, horse's mouth, you should say something.
yes, it's a family business. The
Uh-huh.
company was created in 1904,
Okay.
and yes, and because we were uh, working on the, it was a small area of 150 kilometers from Bordeaux, and we were
Uh-huh.
delivering some woods to make barrel. And
Okay.
on the name of the river was the Dordogne, and
Mhm.
it was very dangerous to deliver this kind of shipment because we have to use the river when
Mhm.
you have a lot of water,
Oh,
because the boat can go only when you have water, and it means it was very, very, very dangerous. And we made a very good relation with people in Libourne, in Bordeaux, close to
mhm.
Saint-Émilion. And
Mhm.
when the phylloxera destroyed all the French vineyard, it was in 1885, because we started to deliver woods for a long time ago. And during 20 years, you can't sell any wines because you haven't any wines. A very good link with the people is a good relationship. Very,
Mhm.
very, yes, very important to do something like this. And
Mhm.
we decided in 1978 to come back to the land and to
Oh.
buy a castle in Saint-Émilion,
Mhm.
and to be connected again with the winemaker closer, because before we are working as a merchant, but
Okay.
become a winemaker as well. It was very important for us, because in the past we were working in the land
Uh-huh.
and we are producing some potatoes, something like this, but we were always connected with the land.
Is this?
And and the business still continued to grow. And in 2005 we decided to start to sell in duty free, in travel retail, with
Mhm.
Lagardère,
Mhm.
and it was in 2005, I think. And we it's just incredible, because we started to list one product. It was our wine. It was a
Mhm.
Saint-Emilion, and
Okay.
every 3 months we receive an order, 300 bottle, 300 bottle. What is
Mhm.
travel retail? I have no idea about duty free and travel retail. And I asked to the buyer, please, can you organize me a meeting with the staff, because I
Mhm.
need to learn what needs the staff, what the
Mhm.
people need, what it needs the customer when
Right.
he's try to buy a bottle. And I visited in Roissy. It was 30 people, and the meeting was 4 hours. It was amazing. And all the
Mhm.
people asked me some details for the bottle, for the wine, what kind of food we can pair, and so on,
Yeah.
because it's so difficult to choose a bottle in front of you. When you have 300 bottles in front of you, it's very difficult
Difficulty.
to do a selection. And and I decided to do a kind of training, and I visited all the airport. And 2 years later, the Grave Renaissance is the Saint-Emilion became the bestseller in duty free,
Oh.
because people know what to tell to the wine. And we
Mhm.
decided to in 2010 to create a concept, is one winemaker concept, as you
Mhm.
can see in the Dubai Qatar
Right.
duty free article. And
Right.
we have associated winemakers
Mhm.
uh, around one winemaker concept. We ask to each or to make a video, and when you scan the bottle, now the winemaker is telling you the story.
Mhm.
And we made a special back label as well. What
Mhm.
is a grape? What kind of food you can pair? The temperature to serve the wine, to help the staff and to help
Mhm.
the customer to decide. And we are alone today, still alone today to do it. It's just
Oh,
completely amazing,
no,
because
no,
people need
no, no,
information.
no competition till now.
No,
Oh, the barcode that is scanned. No, not. Oh,
no, no,
very
no,
good.
no, 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 no. No, what is
Well,
difficult, Trilok, is to do the video. We have 70 story about human people today,
oh,
70 story about
uh-huh.
winemaker.
Oh,
And it's unbelievable, because now many things are digital, and people need some matière. And the QR code, you have only a website, only a technical sheet, but you haven't any video. When you are scanning our wines, you have a story. And, you know, it is a reality. It's a story of the wine, the story of the castle, story of the family, just to understand our ADN. Today, next week, I will go back to Belgium, only 3 days, because I spent a lot of my life in Belgium to visit customer, the customer since 1904. Next week, I will visit the same family since 1904, the fourth generation. Yes.
Fourth generation.
Yes, we still have contact. We still have people still trusting us regarding the quality of our wine, regarding our selection, because the best things to do for us, and it's sometimes very difficult, is to do the right selection with the right quality and the right price. And to be sure the customer will be happy when he will test the wine. And many times in Bordeaux, the reputation of Bordeaux is not really good because it's expensive wine.
Yes.
But believe me, you can find very, very, very good wine and very competitive price. You just have to look around the most beautiful castle to find some pépite and to give you a lot of pleasure to discover this kind of wine. And they are not expensive. And I think it's possible to do good wine everywhere around the world. And it depends the land, it depends the grape, and it depends the winemaker. But when you are meeting new winemaker, after 5 or 10 minutes talking, we have an idea about the quality of the wine. Because if he's talking with his heart, it's okay. And I think this is our story. And we have made this discussion with Rajiv, and we share a lot of value about people, about humanity, and we try to do our best to give some pleasure around wine.
Before Qatar airport, about the selection of the wines, Mr. Sylvain. I understand what you're trying to say. The winemaker who's passionate enough and with the ideal terroir and the growing conditions will definitely grow best quality wine, or but how challenging is it for you to still select the wines and maintain its exclusivity and market it properly, apart from the videos, the barcode that you're saying? I mean, there could be a boutique winemaker who is passionate enough, who you are connected with him since many generations, and you really from within, you also want to really brand or market their wines. But then is it all is it all that, or what exactly do you do, what exactly do you look beyond these things to maintain the exclusivity?
Yes, it's easy to explain, because regarding the very good relation we have with the winemaker, we identify the best plot inside the company, the winery, the vineyard, and is making for us this plot with the name of the plot, and we have exclusivity for this volume, and is making the wine as we discuss, as we want, to be sure we will have the best quality possible on this plot. And we are alone to distribute this kind of wine because it's just for us. And I think it's very important to understand this, because it's not to just select, it's to work with the winemaker to have the best quality possible with this plot. And maybe sometimes we have discussion regarding the kind of barrel. If you want this wood or this wood or this wood, and we can discuss, because we are using barrel as well. And maybe you need something more smoothie, you need something more powerful, something more stronger. And we have always discussion. It's a job of Isabelle She's winemaker, and we are really professional regarding the selection and the testing, because sometimes happen. For example, in 2017, we haven't sold any wine because the quality was not there, and we don't want to compromise our reputation regarding this vintage. Was not good, and especially in Pomerol, especially in Saint-Emilion. And if tomorrow you find 2017, be careful, because the quality is not here.
I think, Sheetal, just to add to your question also, so, just a couple of things. The 1904 connection, etc. Isabelle Peuch, who's now, the lady that Sylvain just mentioned with him, her father, it's her family that started, in 1904 as the négociant. Grandfather, yes. No, not father, grandfather, I know. And also, when Sylvain says he's going to Belgium, since 1904, no, he's not going since 1904. He's he doesn't look as old as that. Eh? But
I'm drinking some good wine,
You're drinking good wine. But I think, Sheetal, the very important point is the winemakers that we are working, and almost 80 winemakers we are working with at the moment. Okay? And it's not today, yesterday. But some of these relationships go back generations. Okay.
Yes, right.
And also the winemakers, these are small, passionate winemakers. Not to say other people are not passionate, but these vineyards are located next to some of the most top wine labels that you see in the world. Okay, we have Chateau Belgrave Les Champs, for example, in Pauillac. It's right next to one of the most well-known wine labels. Exactly. And just the other thing, as Sylvain says, we have parcels on the vineyard. So let's say a winemaker owns 10 hectares or 20 hectares or 30 hectares. We would have identified, 2, 3, 4 hectares.
Yeah.
Which is us. And also the label that is being is on the wine is a label that's exclusive to us. The winemaker may have other labels that they're selling, but this label, and I'll just give you an example. I have a bottle here. I don't know if you can see that. Yes.
Yeah, I can see that.
And that's Margot. That's exclusive to us. You can see the one winemaker neck collar, concept which just sort of goes into the top of the bottle, and it is used for pouring. But also, what is very important is the barcode and the 5. The back labels are all in English. So you don't need a degree in French to be able to decipher the back label. It's in English. It tells you the grape variety. It tells you the aging potential. It tells you the food pairing. It tells you the serving temperature, and also how long you can keep. What's the best sort of aging potential is.
This arrangement that you have with the winemaker as well as vineyard is a very long-term arrangement.
Yeah.
Normally,
sometimes 50 years.
Oh, 50 years.
Yeah, it can be.
So that's been continuing, yeah.
We are working today with 100 winemakers. Can you tell me how many contracts do you think we have with the winemakers?
No, that you have to tell me. The next question is from Sheetal only. Right?
Zero contract.
Zero contract.
Zero.
It's relationships.
Relationship.
Oh, that's because of
contracts, but here it's not necessary to have, because we are trusting each other, and we are trying to develop to distribute in the best ways possible. Is a duty-free business, is embassies, is a diplomatic shop, and we try to target and focus on the right distribution. We have a selection as well of a wall of winemaker, more for the domestic market, but we are doing exactly the same job. We are selecting very strong, and to be sure, we still suggesting the best quality possible.
So do we, as we see that you've successfully collaborated with Qatar Airport, but do you also plan to target other airports for collaboration?
In Middle East, it was it's not the first one. Man. We are working with Dubai Duty Free. We are working with Trouble. We are working with Lebanon as well. We have
Beirut, yes.
Jordan as well. We have a lot of point. Yes.
Sheetal, to your question, sorry to jump in. We are already in about 65 airports around the world. Okay. So Qatar was a new listing for us. We weren't in Qatar until this year, but Dubai we have been working for many years now. We are Lagardère, like Sylvain mentioned, around all your French airports and all the other locations that Lagardère is there. Hong Kong, but then Middle East, other European airports. So yes, that's very much, and of course, we are looking to add to the 65 airports.
So one day it will be India also, right? Indian airports.
To look, in fact, India, there is there's very positive discussions with the with people in India, and what we're trying to do is just work through getting distribution directly into the airports.
Okay, very good.
So, I mean, you have to remember that Indians are also buying our wines in Dubai and in Qatar when they are traveling,
and they bring back home. Yeah.
And in Paris as well, when to bring back home.
Right.
So why not buy it in India, you see?
Certain places only your wines are sold or nothing like that.
No, but nobody has exclusive rights. I mean, at Delhi Duty Free today, it's up to them what wines they decide to list.
Right.
So there's no exclusivity, etc. But the one winemaker concept, as we talk about, the one that I showed you now with the
right.
This is exclusive for the duty free channel. So normally you should find these wines in the duty free. It could be an airport, it could be a cruise ship, it could be a border store. But you shouldn't find this in the supermarket with the one winemaker.
Yeah. But do you think that you'll be extending this concept to supermarket also?
Not the video
outside France.
No, the videos, and Sylvain, correct me if I'm wrong over here, but the videos it's for duty free. It's for passengers traveling through airports or on cruise ships, etc., where they can scan the QR code.
Scan and they see the like a tour, for them.
Yes, they're transported from whichever part of the world you're in. You could be transported from Delhi or Mumbai or Hyderabad all the way back to a chateau in France.
But Sylvia, don't you think that this concept can be extended to the domestic market?
I think it's still important to give a storytelling, and I think we will working on the possibility to do exactly the same, because we are doing exactly the same selection, we are doing exactly the same job. Only things we are not making now is the video. Donc potentially we have the idea to do it, and but for us it's quite new to distribute in domestic market, because we are focusing on domestic market was the first set in Belgium in 1904, but we grow in duty free, diplomatic shop, and regarding the pandemic now, I think it's not bad to open the distribution, but for making and doing this kind of video is taking a lot of time, because it's a professional team who is making this video. It's quite 1 week for each winemaker to work and to make the shooting and to rush and everything. And it's a tough job to do.
That's a time-consuming and expensive also.
Expensive as well. Because if I don't know if you have a look to the video, it's a professional quality. We are using drone, or you said drone? Drone, yeah. Because you have to feel, and he's taking the team is taking a long time to do it, because he has to feel the story of the family. It's just not to do a video and back at home. It's not like this. We have to share the passion, the tradition, the authenticity, but I think in the near future we will do video for local market, for domestic market.
Right now you sell it only in the France only, right? Domestic market?
No, we are in other markets also. And actually, just to add to Sylvain's point, we have also launched a domestic wine range called World of Winemaker.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can share some separate information with you on that as well.
Okay.
Again, with the neck collar, but a different kind of neck collar, with the faces of the winemakers, the real people behind the wine. And with the exception of the QR code, The back label is also in English. It still has the same
Right.
5 tasting notes.
Right.
And this is for domestic markets. And already, in Africa, certain markets we've opened up. Sierra Leone is one of the markets. We've opened up markets in South America with the domestic range. We are in Belgium and France also. And we are building on that as well. We've always been known for our exclusivity with duty free. And that exclusivity will continue with the one winemaker. But the world of winemaker now is our new concept for domestic markets. Still working with the same winemakers,
Yeah.
but also adding certain other wines, to the range. But again, always focusing on quality and value. Very important.
Right.
Does PNB also have vineyards in France?
Yes, the Chateau Grave Renaissance is our vineyard in Saint-Emilion. That's our own estate.
Okay.
And that's a Grand Cru, Saint-Emilion wine and that's what Sylvain was mentioning in 2017. We didn't sell any Grave Renaissance because in Saint-Emilion and Pomerol, the vintage was it wasn't a good harvest. So we didn't want to compromise on the quality of the wine.
Even if you are selling less expensive, the customer will remember it was not a good wine. And he will forget the price, but he will remember the quality. And it's not a question of price, it's a question of quality always. And for all the kind of reason, we don't want to sell the vintage.
And Sheetal, also just to add here, we are wine owner, we are owners, we have our own chateau, we are winemakers, and we are also working with other winemakers as well. So it gives us both sides of the
Right.
And it's only wineries, huh?
Only wineries, yes. We are not no industrial production. It's all family.
Okay.
Yes.
What are the kind of challenges you undergo or you undergone during COVID time, which is still continuing to an extent? The kind of challenges,
Sylvain, during COVID, what have you faced? What challenges have you faced, from a business point of view?
During COVID, the 15th of March, all the airports were closed, and the sales was completely stopped. And I feel we try to maintain our relationship with the people. I think it was very important to still connect people and to still discuss. And we participated to the virtual Modi show. And we met some people. We made some testing. We sent bottles and we made live testing. And for example, if we send bottles next time to you and your colleague, we can have a testing all together and we can comment. Like, it was very good to do something like this. We try to find as well some new some new channel to distribute, like army. Ministers, and because I have connection from the Prime Minister house, it gives me some connection to Ministère des Affaires étrangères, foreign countries, and many contacts like this, and we maintain our activity, and all the staff stay in the company. Like, it was very, very good for us to fight for this. And Rajiv joined us as well during this time, and it was amazing because it was something really new for him and for us. And but we share the same value, donc it was easy to discuss, and to understand each other. And yes, we were facing all the challenges, and I think we will be more stronger in the future when the travel retail will restart normally. We have new customers now. We made the range of domestic market, and it was a lot of hard job to do because Isabel has to meet many winemakers and to do some many testing. And yes, we still have some new activities. We have a fantastic project coming soon around golf and wines. Okay, it will be something really special as well. And yes, we try to still alive. And we
So
are
your sales must have been down, right? In 1 year's time.
yes.
Absolutely.
We lost the first
Quarter.
after March to June. We lost 50% of the sales.
But that's worldwide, all businesses. And
Yeah.
hospitality business is most affected. Hotels, airports, airlines. And all.
Yes,
for
but
us,
we still kept the customers in Belgium since 1904, and we have visited all customers, and they bought a lot because they are drinking at home, and and people try to help us as well to make a little bit huge order. I have some people who call me, Sylvain, we will order a little bit more because we know we are working with airport and it's difficult for you now. We have a strong relation, and
Strong
people
bonding.
try to help us to order, yeah.
Right.
And
so Trilok, even though the airports were closed, but like Sylvain says, the border stores that we were, customers who had border shops, the diplomatic business, and you can see COVID is still on. But despite
it's still
that,
on.
we have new listings with Qatar Duty Free. We've got new listings with IDS, which is International Diplomatic Supply, and other customers that we have added new wines, for example, even Erod Duty Free. Given all the challenges in Lebanon since last year when they had that big explosion,
Right.
they've had COVID, but the business has continued. However small, relationships have continued, and people have continued to support us, and we've supported them.
one of the important challenge you told about challenge just before for us, it was to be more flexible, more adaptable, and with a big reactivity as well, because people want to order last minute now and to be delivered fast because they don't want too much stock. And it's very important to fill it as well, because we can deliver after the order 1 week later everywhere on the world. And we have adapted our strategy regarding our organization to be very reactive, because I think it's a big challenge for tomorrow, because people don't want to order 2 containers or 3 containers for 6 months. They want to order the quantity of wine for 1 month, maybe 1.5, not more.
Not more, yeah.
More reactive. And the size of our company it's very interesting because we can adapt. If it's a huge company, you have some process and you have to respect the process, and maybe it takes 2 months to get the order ready. It's too long.
Yes.
And I think we convince many companies today because we are reactive, and it's a good point for us.
It's a good sign, yeah. Moving forward,
exactly.
And also to look, from somebody with us, you can, on the same order from Bordeaux, you can have your French wines from all across France. You can have an Italian, South African, Spanish. You can have champagne. We have our champagne where we are working exclusively with a champagne which is exclusive to us. So there's all sorts of opportunities that we can offer.
Rajiv, I have a question for you about the trainings that you were talking about. I find you guys being very pro about trainings and making people aware about your wines, the wines you have. How are you doing it? And also on your website, I have seen the consumer awareness training programs you all are taking, which is quite interesting and impressive. So would you like to comment on that?
So, Sheetal, we have a very nice training program that we've developed, which is, we've developed it ourselves. Now, normally, let's say for the example with airports, etc., previously, you could travel, you could train the staff, physically. Now we are doing it over Zoom and Teams, right? But the fact is, again, the training is interactive. We send all the material to the operator. We even have a quiz with the staff, so that they can. We also give certificates to the staff at the end of the training so that they feel that they have. Now that same training can apply to the consumer as well, because it's simple. And at the end of the day, the staff on the shop floor, for example, let's say with the airport, these are the key people who are interacting with you and me. When we are traveling through the airport.
If you see this snake,
yes,
is to help the staff. I will explain why. Because when you do a training with 10 wines, you give very important information for each wine to the staff. And after 2 hours, he will be back to the shop. And in front of him, he will have 300 different bottles. How we can select? Now we can, because he recognizes the neck. He knows. Yes,
Good
it's very
strategy.
important. He
Good
knows.
strategy, yeah.
He has some information on the back,
Yes.
and he can explain. You have the video of the winemaker. If you can trust him because he's telling you the story. You have the grape. You have everything. Even you didn't remember. You can have a look to the back and say to the customer, you have 60% of Merlot is written, and is helpful a lot. The stuff and the neck. It's a drop stop. It's the first strategy. But today, now we have 65 airports, and people recognize neck, and it link with the quality of the wine, because always he's tasting wine with the neck. Always he remembers the quality. This is a message, and I have underestimated this kind of message, because now we are delivering in many airports. And next time, if you come to Paris and you will see the neck, you will think,
I remember you.
Yes.
But
And second point, if you come back to Paris, it will
And
be an obligation for you to come in Saint-Emilion, and we will have a dinner or lunch together, and we will visit some winemakers and to feel the story of the people, because it's very interesting.
Thank you.
But
Thank you, sir.
I mean, I have seen this kind of barcode system in a couple of exhibitions in Hong Kong and, wine exhibitions there are. But the way you guys have really implemented it, targeted with the neck concept, one winemaker, it's so catchy the way Sylvain was explaining right now. And I can imagine out of all those 300 bottles, how catchy it can be just to pick up a wine. I don't have to remember the grape. I don't have to remember the name of the producer or the wineries while I'm traveling. I just have to do the scan the barcode, and I'm already landed in the winery. I'm already listening to the winemaker's stories, and I have made my mind to buy this wine and carry it with me.
And also, like you say, you don't have to remember, because when you pick up the wine with this neck collar, you know that the label on the back tells you everything that you need to know.
Yes.
It tells you about the grape. It tells you about
that way.
Yes.
Make
It makes it.
But what is important to remember, Sheetal, is the quality of the wine.
Yes.
Yes.
Because
very important.
Yes, because when
next time I don't come to you if I don't like your wine.
Yes, exactly. When you will travel again, you will remember the quality of the wine, because 80% of the people travel again. And we have to be careful and to take care about the passengers, about the customers, and especially in duty free. It's not a one shot. We have to build the future as we built since 1904. And like this, customer trust us. And we are selling wine because they love the quality.
I really appreciate you guys are very passionate, equally passionate as the winemakers are already for making the wines. But you guys, as marketeers, as an organization, you all look equally passionate to market their wines as well, to position them rightly in the market, I must say.
Sheetal, Sylvain looks younger than me, but I also had black hair and no beard at one point in time. But the fact is,
I am younger. It's not
but the important thing, Sheetal, you can make a fool of somebody once.
Not always. They will not buy it.
And it's no point me. I've represented brands like Glenfiddich and Balvenie and other things, etc. You don't. Eventually the proof of the pudding is in the eating, and here the proof of the wine is in the tasting. So if somebody takes away something that they enjoy because you've suggested the right thing, and the quality is right, as Sylvain says, you will come back again, and you will trust what you have done the first time. So that's important. So it's long term, honestly.
I think it's simple, but as you said, Sheetal, I think the culture around wine is growing everywhere. And I remember I had some conversation from India market maybe 15 years ago, and all the people, many of the people traveling to Cannes, for example, were looking for entry level wines. Now it's different, and the knowledge increase everywhere, and especially in India, and people want to discover something better, something different, because yes, it's everywhere the case, and now I think the market is quite little more ready. But you are, I think you sold a lot of great wine since a long time in India, but now it's more democratic and more accessible as before. And I think is a good thing for us, because we are exactly on the level people want, and
Yes.
it's not expensive wine. It's not entry level. It's
Mid-level.
something with the right price, the right quality. And it's not so easy to do. Huh?
The objective is, Rome was not built overnight. We've grown, and India is certainly on our radar. Yes, very much so. And we believe we will be there.
No,
we
you'll be
want to do it in the
successful.
right way.
Where is this French wine industry going from here now?
Yeah, yes. I think my company, our company, have already adapted the way to sell the wine and to be more modern, to use digital, and I think we are okay. The problem in France tomorrow is coming from the winemaker, because they have a lot of stock now, and they haven't a real organization to distribute themselves. And they have a huge volume, because since 2 years they are not selling a lot, because they have difficulties in China, they have difficulties in US regarding the rules with Trump. We have difficulties with Brexit as well. And I think the problem of the French people is sometimes we are too much arrogant, and we are still thinking we are the best of the world, and it's not true. You have very good wine in Chile, you have very good wine in Argentina, we have very good wine in South Africa. And now it will be difficult, because you can't reduce double the price, and if yesterday you sold 10, you can sell 5 today. You lose your credibility if you do something like this.
Yeah.
And I think the market is changing. We are still producing very good wine, we are sure, but I think we have to adapt a little bit some details to show and to explain again, to educate, as said Rajiv. I think the education is very important, and to show to the world we are still in capacity to do very good wine, and we can be very competitive. But I think many wineries will disappear, and it's a huge problem, because always the big one is the industry is buying the small one, and at the end, if you will have only 2 or 3 big one, you don't have any choice to give some diversity. And the economy today is quite bad. It's not only for wine industry, because the plastic is missing, the technology composite, you can say something like this, are missing now. Everything is missing all around the world today, and the economy is changing very fast.
Yeah,
and we have to adapt many things. And I think many winemakers will have difficulties tomorrow. We have to work hard together to show to the world we can still continue to do very good wine.
Yeah.
Sylvain mentioned the concept wine of golf legends. This is a concept, again, which is unusual. Even I was gobsmacked, and I thought, how can you? So I've learned so much, actually. But the wine of golf legends is something really unique, a passion of Sylvain, and of course Isabel as well. But where we have got real golfers, who have been legends in their own time. And when we say in the last 10, 15 years, these people have been Ryder Cup winners or winners of Open golf, all the major championships. And already we have 5 wines now in our portfolio, with 5 different golfers from different parts of the world, Sheetal. And these are wines that they have chosen.
They have chosen.
Yes. We chose together on the same process.
Okay.
And the idea is to get a golfer and a winemaker coming from the country. It means you will have a Spanish wine, a Spanish golfer, Napa Valley wine, American golfer, Argentine wines, Malbec, Argentine golfers, South Africa, South African wine, South African golfers. It's completely amazing. I can't believe it's possible to meet these golfers, because they were number 1 of the golf a few years ago, as Tiger Woods, the same level.
Tiger Woods, yeah.
No, but Trilok, the important thing is the golfer. So we have a Spanish golfer, one of the top Spanish golfers in the world. He has chosen a Rioja wine. So he and the winemaker have worked on Rioja. So today, with the new concept that we have, which is, and the wine label, the back label has the golfer's picture, front label has the golfer's signature on the label, and it's all done in the golfing kind of style. But also what is important is that today in Bordeaux, we will have now wines from South Africa, we will have wines from Spain, we will have wines from Italy, we will soon have wines from Argentina, we'll have California, in due course, Australia and New Zealand. So you can see that PNB, from what was
French
business from all across France, will be in a position to have wines from almost 18 different parts of the world, because there's 18 holes in a golf, on a golf course. And ideally, we would like to have 18 golfers in due course.
Oh, so you are adding all international wine.
Maybe we can have one Indian golfer.
Indian golfer and an Indian wines. Yes.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it's possible.
India, the population of India is very interesting looking for golf. You are one of the biggest country in the world looking golf.